Hello, Harry Paden, host of the Paden Perspective, back again. This is, of course, Season 1, Episode 9. And this episode is on something very important, at least again in my opinion, particularly to those in the African American Black community, just in general. But it's stress, and it's entitled Stress Kills. And hopefully, I'll give you some stress relieving techniques because stress can kill. Harry Paden, the Paden Perspective, and this is episode number 9, Stress Reduction Tips because stress kills. Again, as I mentioned, there is a great deal of problems with stress and stress-related illnesses, the heart, blood pressure, cholesterol are all in those mixes, which causes problems with one's health. Just last week, I went for a battery of tests, complete physical, heart, lungs, esophagus, everything, really, because at my age, I'm a senior citizen. You can tell by the beautiful gray beard, really almost white beard, that I am a senior citizen. But you can also tell, and I got on this shirt for a reason, is that I try to stay fit. Those are my guns, arms. Okay. I work out a little bit, and those are my guns. And no, the camera's not blowing it up. You see it as it is. Look at that. Because I go to the gym every once in a while. And I don't go religiously. I don't spend my time. I'm not a gym rat. But the reason I have on this shirt is because many times in our lives, I know I've done it, is that we become Superman, Superwoman. We're doing things for everybody. We're raising our families. We're going to our jobs, doing things for our job. Those of us involved in religious pursuits, we do things relating to our religious pursuits, our social pursuits, our political pursuits. And it takes a lot out of you. So we always have to be mindful of what's going on, what we're doing with ourselves and with our bodies, and what we need to do to correct those things that are not going correct with our bodies. And I'm going to attempt, I took down some notes, so I want to be, again, as precise as possible. A lot of it is going to be just my opinion, but one of the things that we should do as relating to ourselves, again, suggestion, I have no clinical degree, so sometimes people want to say, well, where did you go to medical school? How can I take your advice? You haven't studied anything. I'm going to give this advice from me, from my personal point of view, because I learned some, back in the 80s, I had a test, and I didn't know this doctor from Adam. And this particular test the doctor was giving me, he asked me, he said, you have a lot of stress in your life? And I looked at that doctor like, oh, you're the FBI? How you know? Because I had a ton of stress in my life. Stress at work, stress at home, just stress. I was selling real estate at the time, very stressful job. My home life was stressful. It wasn't too long after my daughter Shahara was born, and I'm a new dad, stressing. New dads, we stress. And I had a lot of stomach problems, so went to the doctor for that, and that was his diagnosis. And it was because stress tightens up things. It makes you hurt. It makes your body react a certain way. One of the things that I suggest, being that I'm not a clinical person, but you check it with your doctor, and I'm sure your doctor will agree, my doctor certainly does, is that you have to alleviate a lot of those things that give you stress. Some things you can't alleviate. If you got a stressful job, Your children may cause you stress. You can alleviate all the things related to the stress and how it comes to you. But then there are techniques that you can use to help you reduce stress, keep stress from taking over and causing bad reactions. So some of those tips I'm going to give you today, but one of the suggestions is stay away from what we sometimes call Debbie Downers. Have you ever met somebody who every time you see them, something is wrong? How you doing? I'm doing bad, man. Everything that comes out of their mouth is negative. They flip everything on the negative side, and by the time you leave them, you're depressed because of their depression. As best you can, stay away from those Debbie Downers, and if you can, help them to turn a negative into a positive. I'm not doing too good today. I feel so terrible. Well, have you went to the doctor? Have you discussed your symptoms with someone of the medical profession? Turn that negative around. And if they listen, you'll help them. If they don't listen, exit stage right and keep it moving. And when you see them cross the street, this is my suggestion because that's what I do. I don't like to be around people who every time I see you, something is negative because I don't want that to jump off on me. So stay away from those people. But stress kills. And that is a fact. You don't have to be a clinician to know that. I am a doctor. I call myself Dr. Paden, but my doctor is the streets. I'm a street doctor, like my good friend Earl Best. I was brought up in Harlem, Newark, so I know the streets. So I have a doctorate in the streets. I could walk the streets with all this fake jewelry. Yeah, it's fake. It's jewelry, but it's not, like my man 50 Cent. Yeah, that's 50 Cent from Power. Yeah, that's right. I meet people every once in a while. But it's funny that I came off on that note because one of the suggestions for relieving stress is laughter. Laughter is a major way to reduce some of the effects of stress. So when you're feeling bad, maybe turn on something that can get you laughing. There's a lot of comedy shows on. And it's funny that I talk about laughter because, we have a lot of suicides. Recently, I think I mentioned on the last show that 9, because when I did it, it was 8. And that same day, another police officer in New York committed suicide. Stress, very high stressful job. And again, I can't tell you why. They would rather take their lives than to deal with whatever it was that was stressing them. But 9 to date, police officers in New York City, New York State, I guess, have taken their lives due to stress in their lives. Very stressful job. Chef Anthony Bourdain took his life some years ago. Kate Spade, and this one is ironic. Robin Williams, one of the funniest men that ever walked the space of the earth. Robin Williams took his life. Depressed. They say the tears of a clown. He made all of us laugh, but for whatever reason, he couldn't deal with the stress in his life. So laughter. And you say, okay, Paden, yeah, that's your opinion, but I'm going to give you, again, as I always try to do, give you specific places you can look, because I know those of y'all who think I don't know anything, and I appreciate that, because I don't, but I know where to find things. Help Guide .org. The word help and guide together.org gives some of these suggestions. Laughter. Laughter relaxes the whole body. You get through laughing, your body is just like, whoa, it's like a whole different level. It's almost like exercising. A good hearty laugh relieves physical tension and stress. This is from helpguide.org. Leaving your muscles relaxed for up to 45 minutes. So if you're stressed out, get yourself, put on a Richard Pryor if you have to. Bernie Mac, those are old school people. You don't laugh with them, and you better go to the doctor because something's wrong with you, But laughter can relieve stress and tension, and it leaves your muscles relaxed for up to 45 minutes. Laughter boosts the immune system. The immune system is what takes care of those things that poison our system. Laughter decreases stress hormones and increases immune cells and infection fighting antibodies, thus improving your resistance to disease. That's what laughter can do for you. Laughter triggers the release of endorphins. I'm not going to spell it for you, it's a big word, but you heard it before. Endorphins. The body is the endorphins is what makes your body feel good. People take drugs because it releases endorphins. Smokes because of the feeling that the smoke gives to you, tobacco. So endorphins promote an overall sense of well-being and can temporarily relieve pain. That's what laughter can do. It releases those endorphins, which can help you release pain. Another important one, this is all still under laughter. Laughter protects the heart. I took a stress test where you run on the treadmill, and I was ready. I was like, okay, come on, turn it up faster. Let's go up the hill. You know how those that take the stress test. Because I'm very competitive that way. She said, no, we got to turn this off because right now your blood pressure is very, on the low level, is very, the low number, the bottom number is very high. And I don't want nothing to happen. I said, but I feel all right. She said, yeah, that's what your mind says, but your body says, you've been running, because I'm very competitive for a minute. We're going to shut this down because your mind, Harry Paden's mind that thinks that he's so super strong and super young, is saying that you can continue to go. But the blood pressure machine, because they have your arm strapped up to, the blood pressure thing, says, let's stop. So we stop. And see, that's what the problem is. Our mind says we can go, but our body says, whoa, there's a problem here. And maybe if she didn't shut it down, I'd have ran myself into, getting sick and things like that. So laughter protects the heart. It improves the functions of the blood vessels and increases blood flow. So, when the blood flows better, that's how people have heart attacks, because the flow of the blood doesn't get through, and the heart technically virtually shuts down. That's what they call a heart attack. That's why so many people die of a heart attack, because anything that causes your blood not to flow correctly, your heart not to pump correctly, shuts down the heart. It's a machine. It's God's machine that He's given to us. So laughter helps. And laughter helps you against heart attacks and other cardiovascular problems. Okay, so laughter. That's a simple tool. Use laughter. And I'm going to try right now to those of you that are stressed out, I'm going to try right now to help you with laughter. My girlfriend said, Harry, go out and go get something that makes me look better. So what I did, I went out and got drunk. That was a joke. You didn't get it? She said, go get something that makes me look better. So I got drunk. That's what I got, and it made her look better. That's a joke. Now see, luckily I don't have a girlfriend, so I didn't hurt nobody's feeling. But see, now you laughing because that was so corny. See, that's how laughter works. Another good tool, and one that I promote because I pumped it up in the beginning, and I'm a big proponent of it, particularly now that I've retired. I'm retired a little bit more in a year. Is that I try to go to the gym, as often as I can. Not as often as I can, that's incorrect, but at least once a week. And, I'm a very much of an arm person. I like to look at my arm, like when they look good. I wear my, we call them compression, because it compresses against your body. And, again, you can look, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm just a conceited, narcissistic kind of guy, but I speak of the truth. I could be doing worse. But exercise also helps reduce stress. If you want to go where I went for this, natural, the word natural, like, we used to wear naturals, naturalnews.org has some of this information that I'm going to supply to you. Because exercise burns away chemicals like cortisol, non-repinicin, and it's a big word. I'll probably mispronounce. Excuse me. And all those things cause stress. At the same time, vigorous exercise again reduces endorphins. The same thing I said about laughter. So laughter releases endorphins. Exercise releases, not reduces, releases endorphins into the system, and also releases other chemicals like dopamine. Dopamine is another body type function that, again, people take artificial things, get high, use drugs, use illegal substances, performance enhancing substances, and serotonin into the brain. So these dopamines and serotonin get released into the brain from exercise, and they give you a good feeling, a feeling of safety, a feeling of, wow, I feel good. They call it pumped up. A lot of people we used to call it anyway, pumped up. You feel pumped up. You feel like, whoa, I feel good. My body, after you relax, probably because, exercise is a little challenging every once in a while, but and exercise is a good way to reduce stress because it gives you a sense of feeling just better, like that you've done something. Now, before you go out and do exercise, consult with your doctor, please. Again, this is from a guy that just likes to exercise, that I see the results from exercising, but go to your doctor because your doctor may tell you to exercise under limited constraints because I don't know your body, I don't know your body constraints. But exercise generally is recommended in most cases that it can help you, and it will reduce stress and stress reduction. It just produces a more productive person. This is one that I challenge with. I laugh a lot. I am a big clown. I laugh at myself. Sometimes I crack myself up. Just like that joke. See, that joke still got me laughing. But, so laughter is a good one. I can get laughter. I exercise. But crying, for me, this has always been a little bit of a hard one for me because back in the generation when I was raised, men, boys were taught it's not manly to cry. Don't cry. Man up. And if you cried, you almost considered a punk, P-U-N-K. You were considered less than a man if you cried because men don't cry. And we know that's so much bull. I mean, come on. Men cry. We got things to cry about. Doesn't make you feminine. Doesn't make you less than a man. But we were taught that. And for some reason, that's so deeply ingrained into my psyche that when I get in public, it's very, 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 very difficult. My crying mechanism shuts down. Tears, I feel tears coming up. Let me turn away. And that's a difficult one for me. But crying reduces endorphins and relaxes you. And, sometimes after a good cry, because I do cry, just don't cry in public, And when you do cry, you feel so much better. It just helps you feel. So crying is another one of the tools that you can use. Sometimes you just gotta cry, like life hits you, and it hits you like a brick or something, You gotta cry. If you're like me and you can't cry in public, then go into the bathroom and put a towel over your face or a pillow over your face and man up. And it tells you how it goes, is that, again, that's what I was taught, my father and all, men that was around taught me things like that. The night my mother died, me and my dad were there, and the rest of the children were asleep. Me and the dad, and after we found out my mother had died, we came from the hospital. My dad went to his room, which was, not very far from me. He went in the room, and I went in my room, and he closed the door. And I heard him crying like a baby. That's the only time I ever remember seeing him. I didn't see him, but hearing my dad cry. But he cried. He had just lost his wife. But he cried like a baby. I mean, a boo-hoo, like a baby cry. Y'all know what I'm talking about? But see, that's how that psyche in my mind is that those are the kind of things you cry over, losing your wife. You don't cry because you lost a game. Come on. Crying is good, and don't be like Harry Richie Rich Paden. That's my little moniker. Crying is good for you. Now, okay, you're ready for some controversy because I'm a controversial guy. You know, I am. I'm the type person that I get myself in trouble, but I love me, so getting in trouble is okay. You know, it's really okay. Another, if you have stress, here's another way to reduce stress. Controversial, but I'm going to give you where I got it from so you know it's not just me. Sex. No, I didn't say something wrong. Sex reduces stress. And here's where this comes from. So you know Paden is an old sex addict and all that kind of stuff. Don't you ever say it again. Here's where I get it from. In March of 2008, write it down so you can check. March of 2008, CBS, the TV station CBS, had a news report entitled, and you can Google this, Top 10 Reasons to Have Sex Tonight. Top 10 Reasons to Have Sex Tonight. This is CBS from a 2008 report. Google that. Here are the top 10 reasons. Sex, the number one, this is their list. Sex releases stress. Sex boosts immunity. Sex burns calories. Sex improves cardiovascular health. Sex boosts self-esteem. Self improves intimacy. Sex reduces pain. Sex reduces prostate cancer risk. Sex strengthens pelvic muscles. Sex helps you sleep. That's their top 10 reasons for having sex. Go to www.cbsnews.com/top 10 reasons to have sex tonight. I disavow any liability for anyone that uses this information in an adverse way. I'm not saying go out there and have sex with the wrong person. I'm not saying you guys who are married, you women who are married or engaged or going with someone, going with the wrong person to have sex. The act of having sex with the right person, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, that person that you choose to have a sexual relationship with, has to be a choice that is made consciously and decently. Don't go against your morals. Don't go against those things. So I disavow. Don't say Harry Richie Rich Paden said having sex helps me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm reporting what CBS News has, and it's right on their website. So don't come back to me after you've gotten yourself in trouble. Now, stress is a killer. Like me, go to the doctor. If you have a lot of stress, you are not Superman. You are not Superwoman. We are all bodies put together, and our fragile bodies are put together by God Almighty. Thank you, God, for the bodies. Thank you, God, for the magnificent bodies that are so complex. And stress is one of those things that further complicates the bodies that we have. So take your time, out there in life. I always advocate going on vacation, getting away from the job. When I was working, one of the things that I used to do is, like Labor Day's coming up. Labor Day's on a Monday. I used to maybe take off the Thursday before the Labor Day. So it would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That's almost a whole week that I would take off of work because I had a stressful job. I love doing my job. I'm one of those persons that, took pride in doing your job. A lot of people out there do that. So my job caused me stress, but I had no problem getting away from my job. And when I came back to my job, you know what? I felt almost refreshed and new. And it helped me because, as you can see, I have retired. I have reduced my stress. I'm working right now to reduce my stress even more. More exercise, more laughter, more crying, and sex. Hey, case of right, it's none of your business what I do with sex. It's none of your business. thank you guys, as always, for listening. What you heard earlier was my clapboard drop. And I hope it didn't break. It didn't break. So I had to pick it up. Those who want perfection, this is not the site for you because I'm sorry. See, again, I'm laughing. I love laughing at myself. But this is the end. Hope I've given you some brief tips. Again, I'm not a clinician. All the things that I did, that's why I had my laptop with me, was research. And one of the best things that I can say about myself is that I research better. But one of my college professors said, I've been here 30 years, and he said, your research is superior to anyone. And I thought that was the greatest thing ever said. Thank you, Professor Good. I hope, Godspeed, I haven't talked to you, but thank you for that, because I always remember that, and I pride myself on my research. So go to those sites and, look at them, well researched, and I think that it'll help you. Stress kills. Reduce your stress, please. We want to live, and again, the things that I mentioned, laughter, crying, exercise, and sex were recommended by professionals, and Harry Paden just did the research, so hope it helps you. To God be the glory. See you next time. And I always thank you guys for watching, because you do have so many other things you can be doing. Bye-bye.